We received our uhuru when we were students and came out with it. I was posted from there to Salawa, retired as senior chief in 1995, June 30. I am Dr. Tuitoek. I was born in 1939. I went to primary school, Chebloch, which is now in Amoy, in 1948, up to 53, up to 52. From there, the school was moved to Kiboino, the present Kiboino, because of a lot of mbo attacking teachers, because teachers all came from Nandi at that time. There was no teacher from Geyo or Tugen. All of them came from Nandi. And I recently asked why. They told me Tugenis did not go to school early. The other people like Jalua and others were lucky because the education followed railway line from Mombasa, Nairobi, Nakuru, Londiani, up to Kisumu. From there, the missionaries came to Kakamega. From Kakamega, they came to Kapsabet in Nandi, Chepteri. And from there, now they came to Baringo. Those were missionaries. Then they built schools and they brought teachers from Nandi. And that was why we found ourselves to be the first teachers of Baringo. I left Igbo in 1958 for Kituro, class 5. It was then called intermediate. So I went there. I had passed very much. There was an examination which makes one to move from class 4 to class 5 all over the district. So mine was very acceptably good. I was called it Tuituro Intermediate School, where the teachers were Italians and the Nandis and the Gikuyus. There was no Tugen. I saw a Tugen when I was leaving. So I lived there. After 4 years, I did the KAPE, Kenya African Preliminary Examination, and passed. There was no secondary school except Kapsabet and Gijabe. All else, nowhere. So what happened is that the priestess took us to St. Joseph's Catholic College, Teachers College. So I went there, where the Uhuru found me there. Kenya Uhuru found me there. We received our Uhuru when we were students and came out with it. I was posted from there to Salawa, to Baringo district. And in Baringo, they posted me to Salawa school, where I met about 40 children in the whole school. I taught them very well and worked hard with the parents to bring them around, and finally there were very many children. Class 1 to 4. After that, they go elsewhere. But God was great. Our school was upgraded to class 5 and up to 7. Now I went on building a lot of this. I built most of the classes from local materials, just all alone. When people come and help me, I pay them. I wanted the children to get where they sit. These classes, some were mapati built, some were grass thatched. So from there, I went to Gabartonjo on transfer. 68. I left there. I came back to Salawa briefly and back to Marigat, went to Marigat, where I stayed for 7 years. I started boarding primary school for boys only, where I had 145 of them. Reason, The schools were very far, and they were class 1 to 4 in the eastern part in James area up to Eldamaraville in this area of Radat. So all schools were going up to class 4, and that's all. And then when they were all open to go up to class 8, all of them, say class 7, then the results of Marigat was always good of class KCP. So most children came. The girls came and stayed in some relatives area, but the boys were border. So I moved to the school from about 100 children up to 740 something in the school. Because when they passed, everybody would want to come. So I felt it doing well to the community of Kenya. Finally, I had to leave for Nakuru. I went there. After some years, 2 or so, I was told to come back to Baringo again as the chief of the new location of Salawa. I came through the interview and came to become the first chief of the new location of Salawa in Kerio Valley. This was at the end of 1980. And then 1981 was when I formally started bringing people together and doing all that and registering the farms and so on. It was a lot of work. Building the schools, looking for plots where to build the schools and centers. And it was really the work I'll never forget. And I thank God for that, because I did not show any tiredness. Only time I worked, I woke up the following morning healthier. So it went that way up to now. We have a lot of we have a lot of secondary schools in the place which had only 3 when I arrived. 3 primary schools. So there are very many. I cannot even count. And people have so tripling. They have tripled or quadrupled. There are very many now. The pombe was usually everywhere. It was like tea in every house today. So we teamed up with the pastors in the area, and I scheduled very many meetings so that these people would preach, and then I'll support them. We went that way, and we gained a lot of people who were staying away from drinking anymore, and those who would join became very little, and this is how we rose up. We rose to be what we are at the moment. And then President Moi stopped the pombe, Kalabu, all over Kenya when he took over. This third one also helped us. And the chiefs were given askaris, because earlier there was no askari with the chief. So Moi gave us that. So it helped to bring up the standard of living to be better. All the time, I need doing something good. And I need telling people to do something the better way. And that is part of my life. To anything I see, I have to tell how it is. When it isn't good, I'll tell them it is no good, and perhaps I may tell them the alternative. So it is something that has lived in the body. That is why I used a lot of family money to do public projects without payments, without anything, or without somebody even asking for.